Man, who would have thought the Michael Bay Transformers movies would already become nostalgia fodder for Hollywood? Yes, in the before times, these films used to be a mainstay in American pop culture. When the economy crashed, when Obama became president, when Steve Jobs died, when Barack Obama became president, when Brexit began, when Barack Obama... You would always know that a new Transformers movie would put you to sleep every other summer. That was until Michael Bay's 5-film contract expired and he was shit-canned immediately. However, Transformers Rise of the Beasts is part of a new series of films, starting with Bumblebee in 2018. This movie is only 5 years old, and it already feels like a product of its time, an amalgamation of every goofy trope that prevailed the 2010s. It's an origin story nobody asked for, its title is the name of a very marketable character, and it's obsessed with the 1980s. It's a bad script, obfuscated by window dressing, to appeal to general audiences. Look, there's Alf. Yep, it's Alf. Alf. Look, a delicious can of Tab soda. Oh, now he's playing Pong. Oh, Bumblebee has AIDS now. And people claim this is an improvement? How is it better? Is it because the robots look more like they did in the 80s? So yeah, here we are, living in the future where Transformers Rise of the Beasts exists. This film utilizes characters from the 90s TV show Transformers Beast Wars. The robot can be a plane, the robot can be a train, and now the robot can be Monkey. I will admit that this movie gets off to a pretty good start. We're introduced to our protagonist, a young man living in Brooklyn and struggling to pay for his little brother's medical treatments. He and a friend decide to rob a museum for their donation money and escape. After a pretty decent car chase scene, we're introduced to some goofy transformer named Mirage, voiced by Pete Davidson of all people. Surprisingly, Pete gives a fantastic vocal performance, and Mirage's dialogue is very funny and well written.
That was fun, man. You're fun, dude. Back up. Hey, whoa, whoa. I thought after the car chase we were boys. The name's Mirage. Come on. Give me a little tap.
Mirage and the protagonist get tied up with all the other Transformers, as well as a museum archivist who discovers a key that apparently has the ability to send the Transformers back to their home planet.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
Now that a MacGuffin is set in place, the plot sends our characters to Peru, and at this point the film becomes a painfully generic and forgettable blockbuster action movie. There is quite literally nothing of note except for some silly Spy Kids-esque special effects near the end of the film. Bumblebee fucking dies in the beginning, and when he came back for the final battle, I saw a man in the theater throw his hands into the air and yell "Yes!" at the top of his lungs. If that were all I had to say, this would be a pretty dull review. But the ending is so terrible that it makes this movie more notable than it really deserves to be. Our protagonist begins a job interview, and the boss of this random electronics company says, yeah, we're actually a secret government organization, and we know everything you did with the Transformers. He opens a secret door to a warehouse, and the protagonist receives a card with the fucking G.I. Joe logo on it. Legitimately, the exact logo they put on the toy boxes and shit. He yelps, "G.I. Joe!" and the movie ends. Cut to credits.
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe.
Man, it's like media companies don't even try to hide their cynicism anymore. Everything has to be some kind of universe. An amalgam of dead pop culture melted together like wax statues during an arson attack. Nothing can simply be a narrative that begins and ends anymore. Cinema has become a series of soap operas that try to sell you things like fucking He-Man. Transformers Rise of the Beasts is a decent action comedy turned generic blockbuster turned so bad it's good cash grab, which is why I give it a 3 out of 10.